Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm a Galactic Astrology Soul Reader and Reiki Master Teacher. And in today's video, I'm really excited to share with you some of the peak moments in the month of December, astrologically, galactically, energetically. And those will be the December 14th, 15th Gemini full moon and the December 20th, 21st Capricorn solstice. And we're going to look at the galactic charts, the galactic astrology, the star alignments, the black hole alignments of those two events. And we're also going to look at the Atlantean and Lemurian, the galactic transmissions and frequencies that are coming through, but specifically the Atlantis and the Hawaii asteroid. So I'm really excited to take a look at these charts and definitely share some of my insights, some of my channeling on it, but also inviting you in the comments to share your impressions and your insights and what you're sensing, feeling, and noticing as well. So thank you so much for being together with me for this video in this time of so much information. Oh my goodness. Let's dive in. All right, so on screen here we have the galactic charts from the amazing galacticastrochart.com, where you can create charts like this for your birthday and other transits and events you may want to take a look at the star alignments for. This is the full moon at 23 degrees and 52 minutes of the zodiac sign Gemini, and it's happening at 11:01 p.m. Hawaii time on December 14th. So in most of the world, it's going to be happening on December 15th. So definitely check out, convert to your local time zone, but certainly the 14th and 15th, if they're clear nights, we will be seeing a beautiful full moon in Gemini zodiac sign. So it's really interesting also to note here. So Gemini zodiac sign is ruled by the guiding planet Mercury. And Mercury is stationing direct at 6 degrees Sagittarius, 23 minutes on the 15th of December. So around 11 or 12 hours after this full moon, the guiding planet of Gemini zodiac sign is stationing direct. So that mercurial energy is very, very highlighted for us in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So Gemini, Sagittarius zodiac signs, this axis, because they're opposite signs, Gemini, this mutable air sign, air in motion. Sagittarius, a mutable fire sign, fire in motion. Mercury, our lower mind, our communications, our insights, our intellect, our speaking and writing and sharing ideas, sharing information, our shorter distance trips, in dynamic interplay with planet Jupiter here. Jupiter still retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and they're in each other's signs, as I've been talking about and sharing about in my reflections on the Mercury retrograde. But it's very, very interesting here to have this moon at 23 Gemini and Mercury stationing direct. It's like our whole mental body, from the microcosm, the detail, the mercurial aspect, the lower part, the more conscious part, to our Jupiterian, very expansive, higher mind, expanded perspective, big picture, more of the belief systems, the infrastructure, the geometry of our beliefs, Mercury, more of the thought forms. Both of these really, really highlighted here at the time of this full moon, as the full moon is actually conjoined Jupiter retrograde. It's a bit of a wider conjunction here at around 8 degrees or but it's still there, especially for those of you who, like me, are sensitive, and the moon is our fastest moving body through our chart. So this can certainly be felt and experienced as a conjunction. So what does that mean? That means Jupiter here in Gemini is expanding that lunar energy. So we have this very expansive full moon, this expansive, it can be like lots of Jupiter amplifying, so lots of communication, lots of ideas, lots of social interaction, lots of talking, of listening, of busyness as well, activities, things we're doing, short trips, running around, exploring. This full moon is happening prior to the Christmas holidays, certainly. And so this can be a time of heightened activity, both on a more physical level and then also on a more mental and communicative and social level as well. And now thinking about the body in medical astrology and the work of astrologer Judith Hill, she connects Gemini zodiac sign to the arms, the hands, the bronchial tubes, the upper lungs, capillaries, connecting tubes, and speech. So these are the areas of our body to be mindful of, to be tuning into, and to be taking extra good care of. And certainly here with this, anytime there's a full moon, it's like really soothing the nervous system, especially as we're going to be talking more about all of these big galactic transmissions and big galactic energies that have been pouring in, really, in my experience, the whole month of October with eclipse season was kind of prep, even going back to September. But yeah, it's like been titrating through September, and then October, November was just this huge influx of galactic transmission and galactic energies with Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius. And then here in December, it's like those galactic frequencies are still very much streaming in, and we are in the process of understanding them more, sharing our experiences more, and welcoming in and embracing the mental renovation that is occurring, the renovation within our communication systems and structures, and our attachment to truth, our non-attachment to truth, our ability to know and embody and shine the light of truth as well. So, looking at some of these star alignments, I talked about them a little bit in my December galactic astrology forecast, but we have the sun with this absolutely beautiful star, Razzlehag or Razzlehag, in Ophiuchus constellation. Ophiuchus constellation, sometimes called the 13th zodiac sign or the 13th member of the zodiac, because it actually touches the ecliptic where the other zodiac constellations are. However, that said, we only have 12 zodiac signs that we work with in astrology. So the sun in alignment with Razzlehag. Razzlehag is the healer star. So this is a beautiful time of healing. This is a beautiful time of dream work, especially with Mercury stationing direct so closely to this full moon. So I invite you to activate and intend in your dream times prior to sleep to receive messages, to receive guidance, to receive signs, to receive symbols, to receive healing, receive whatever you need to receive. And even thinking about the dream time as a time to be letting go, as a time to be releasing, to be detoxifying anything within your mental body, anything within your unconscious that needs to be let go of at this time. Because Razzlehag is connected to Asclepius, and Asclepius in Greek mythology was the great healer. So we think usually of Chiron as the great healer, mentor, teacher, but Asclepius is also a very, very notable healer and a dream worker in Greek mythology. So in his lifetime, Asclepius was a healer and very connected to the snake. Ophiuchus is a constellation where it's a man in the sky. Razzlehag is a star in the head. And Ophiuchus is holding a snake, is holding the knowledge, the wisdom, the truth of the divine feminine, of the unconscious, of serpent energy and serpent medicine and serpent wisdom that is this keeper of knowledge, of truth, of healing power, of natural life force energy here. After Asclepius's passing, he was actually got in trouble for how good he was at what he did as a healer. He could resurrect beings from the dead. He could actually restore life to those who had passed beyond. And it's said in Greek mythology that this was threatening to the gods. And so they basically did away with him and took his life from him and cast him into the stars of Ophiuchus constellation. However, there were these temples erected to Asclepius where people would come and receive healing in their waking lives, in their daytime, but also these were sleeping temples where people could go and have a night's sleep, and in their dream time they would be restored to good health. In their dream time, they might dream about a medicine, about a cure, or receive a cure, receive a healing in their dream time, in their sleeping time, and emerge from those temples as if reborn and having this renewed sense of hope and rejuvenation and life force energy. So this really is such a wonderful time to be tuning into your dreams as much as the waking reality. And even if you can't remember your dreams, to intend before you sleep that you release whatever you may need to release, and then also call in whatever you're wanting to call in at this time. So looking at the other side of the opposition, we have the sun at the top of the chart with Razzlehag, and then the moon at the bottom of the chart with really so many different stars. But the tightest conjunction that I mentioned in that December galactic astrology forecast is with Orion Nebula. And Orion Nebula, considered by the ancient Mayan civilization as this cosmic fire, as this cosmic furnace, as this place in the direction of Orion constellation, as the birthplace of new stars. So it was a creation source. It was a cosmic creation source where new stars were being born all the time. And so really to tune into that, the full moon can be a time of seeing the fruits of your labor, seeing things more clearly, especially when you know whereas 23, 24 degrees of Sagittarius in your birth chart, you're becoming aware of that. That's where the sun is. And whereas 23, 24 degrees of Gemini in your birth chart, that's where the lunar energy is. That's where that reflection is occurring. And so, with this being so highlighted by the moon, there is this creative potential here, as well as that growing awareness, that fruition, that manifestation that is inherent in the full moon, the fullness. There can't be any more light in the lunar cycle than at the time of the full moon. It's all waning from there. It's all diminishing light from there. But remembering too, in the context of this particular full moon, it's like the light is diminishing to our solstice, which we will get to in just a moment. So there's a lot of interesting dualities at play here, endings and beginnings and awarenesses. And with this alignment to Orion Nebula, it really feels like what new ideas, insights, ways of engaging your mental body, Gemini, and your emotional body, Moon, engaging your soul, Moon, your intuition, Gemini, your communication, your channeling, your relationship to truth, inner truth, your voice, your throat chakra. In what ways are you co-creating new opportunities, shining new light, and allowing these new parts of yourself to really be coming online and ready to be transmitted and shared, perhaps more fully than ever before, in coming into really the rest of this year, 2024, but also knowing that they can be a part of your unfolding evolution in 2025 and beyond, especially as this full moon is also conjoining the star Capella. And the star Capella is a star of adventure. It's optimism. It's also simplicity. It's also streamlining. When I tune into a Riga constellation, it's a little goat that's being held by a shepherd, and Capella star is within the goat. And so there's this sense of real simplicity, simple living, simple comforts, simpler times, simpler cultures, simpler civilizations, more of the villager and the community kind of way of being, a way of being that's in harmony and in resonance and in reciprocity with the land. So this is also a moment to remember the simplicity of our truth, the simplicity of our messaging, the simplicity of our actual needs, and the joy and the value of simplicity when things are feeling too much, when we're feeling critically overwhelmed by more of the physical reality, by the galactic energies we're receiving, by all the information, the communications, the to-do lists, what have you, the holiday things that are happening, the gatherings, the events, to remember that sense of simplicity and that sense of grounding to the earth, grounding within your body, and really tuning into whatever your body's needs may be at this time. So the south node of the moon is still with our super galactic center at this time. So very, very rich time in terms of our ancestral healing, in times of our galactic energy transmissions, and really receiving those. The more I tune into the black holes, the more I'm becoming aware that they are really our receptivity. They are really where we are taking in that cosmic energy. And it's where we are also letting go, but we're also very much in that receiving of the new frequencies, receiving of the galactic transmission, receiving of our ancient remembering, and our activation of our starseed selves. Because I know there's so much craziness going on in the world, all the different news headlines and things in all the different areas of the world. And how I'm really feeling into that is that as those different outer and like 3D reality events are taking place, and it can look really shaky and really dramatic, etc., it's also like the level of the light and the love and the higher frequencies and the galactic transmissions that we're receiving, the level of the star seed activation, the level of the activation of our soul and the light of our spirit coming in is equaling that. And that's why it can actually feel so overwhelming and destabilizing at times, is it is this natural counterbalance to how different outer events and world events and global events are escalating. And so to know that the intensity and the potency of the star seed activation is simply a balancing and a response to all of the lower vibrational energies and events that may be occurring at this time. So, to do our best as much as possible to really be open to receive those activations, support our bodies in receiving those activations, grounding as much as possible, letting go of resistance as we become aware of resistance, and really creating the mental space, the stillness, our receptivity also in our dream time. Maybe our daily lives are really busy, and our sleeping time, our dream time can be a place and a space for these frequencies to connect in with our mental and emotional bodies, to percolate up from our unconscious into our conscious mind, and to be harmonically integrated into more of our physical bodies. And I really see like the Capricorn solstice as a time of that integration with the physical, because you can see in this particular chart, there's not a whole lot of earth energy here. There's no earth sign energy except for Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And Uranus is arguably, one of our least earthly kind of planetary guides here. So, really connecting, slowing down, breathing, pausing, very, very helpful with the Gemini full moon, and moving our bodies as well to help move this energy through, and as a means of grounding this energy more harmoniously. So let's take a look at the Atlantis and Lemurian energies coming through. Okay, what I have on screen here is the chart of the Gemini full moon, that same chart. And then I also have the chart on the left is the Gemini full moon, on the right is the Capricorn solstice. So again, the Capricorn solstice occurring in most locations on 21st December 2024. And so what I've done is I've drawn in asteroid number 1198 Atlantis in both of these charts, and asteroid number 48575 Hawaii. And the Hawaii asteroid is connected to Lemuria, the Lemurian epoch, the Lemurian age, Lemurian consciousness, Mu, all of these sorts of Lemurian frequencies. And Atlantis asteroid, very connected to Atlantean timeline, Atlantean epoch, Atlantean energy, Atlantean soul experiences, Atlantean memories. So just very, very generally, Atlantis asteroid connected to Atlantis, Hawaii asteroid connected both to present day Hawaii, but then at this more deeper metaphysical esoteric level connected to Lemuria. So I have them drawn in both charts. So we can see at the time of the Gemini full moon that there will be this opposition, of course, between the sun and the moon, making it full. And then we have the asteroid Atlantis at 25 degrees, 29 minutes of Libra in trine to the moon, in sextile to the sun. So there's a harmonious flow of energy here where we are receiving this Atlantean energy. It's supportive, it's present, the gifts and talents and potentialities, new awarenesses can really come in at this time around Atlantis, our connection to Atlantis, and how it is being re-energized at this time. We also have a yod aspect. So Atlantis asteroid in sextile to the sun in Sagittarius, and both Atlantis and the sun in quincunx to Uranus retrograde at 24 degrees, 8 minutes of Taurus zodiac sign. So this yod, this finger of God, really motivating and awakening the Atlantean energy like never before, shining that light of awareness and hopefully helping us to ground it in, to become aware and then really reach into the Taurian frequencies of Uranus retrograde and Taurus and ground that in. And even thinking of the polarity point of that Uranus and Taurus being the 24 degree Scorpio point, it's like working with that energy at a really deep, mystical soul level, letting it bubble up from the depths of our being, the waters of our being, diving deeply into it, investigating it, and coming to know it from a very, very deep place, letting it arise in its own time and show in its own time. And this is where we can really draw upon that scorpionic energy and go deep in the questioning of it, go deeply into the investigation of it. So, how do you do this? You could do this in a meditation, a shamanic journey, a Reiki journey, any kind of healing work or energy work with, another healer, like exchanging a friend, getting a session, getting a reading, something like that could be really, really beneficial. Tuning in, being present with the water, maybe taking a bath, taking a hot tub. Scorpio is that water element, or spending some time out in nature in peace and quiet, tuning into more of that Taurian energy. It could come through a conversation with another person. It could come through relationships. It could come through partnerships, as Atlantis is in Libra. And then Sagittarius, the Sagittarius part of this with Sun and Sagittarius, it could just be an instantaneous download. So be open to the activation, the awareness coming in any variety of ways here is basically what I'm saying. And you're not going to miss it either. It's not going to skip you. So looking at Lemuria in this chart, it is conjunct Mars retrograde. So Mars stations retrograde December 6th, and Mars retrograde, Hawaii asteroid retrograde, and they're both in opposition to both Pluto and Venus in Aquarius. So this is really interesting here because what's been coming through with me with Lemuria specifically is that I am aware that my physical body is actually switching over to more of the Lemurian organic template. And that's the first time I have uttered those kinds of words, and that's been the very clear language of it. So the Lemurian organic template, like the physical template. And my understanding of Lemurian times is that the beings during those times, which may be what we consider ancient past, linear past, but I'm increasingly seeing it more fluid and multidimensional than that, not limited to some kind of ancient past. That this can be a future, a present, a parallel. It can be all of them. So, beings in this Lemurian frequency being more light body, less physical than we are now, more of a fluid consciousness, more of a fluid physical body. So, less dense, more light, more fluid, more jelly like, and even like more flexible. So, one of the very notable things with all of these galactic transmissions that I've noticed is that it's felt like my spine is hollowing out. And thinking about the Lemurian time period as potentially beings that didn't have spines in the way that we current human mammals have spines. Now, how's that going to work? I don't know. I don't have it all worked out. And I will certainly be in the questioning and the investigation of how this is all working through this next month and the noticing of how it's interfacing with my own body and with my own insights and imagination and intellect and intelligence and all of that. What is the truth around all of that? But the message I've gotten so far about this is that this may not be true for everybody, but it's true for me, and it may be true for you. It may be true. It seems like this is a collective phenomenon. It's not just me. This is happening too. But that some of our physical bodies are switching over to more of the Lemurian template, and this Lemurian organic template is retaining and even upgrading, integrating, and including the capacity and the ability to run Atlantean energy through. So, to run this really high frequency, high voltage Atlantean energy through, and to run this very high frequency, high voltage galactic and cosmic energy through our bodies physically. So it may be different than thinking about more linear past ancient Lemurian type bodies. It seems like this ability to run that level of current may be part of the new iteration of that template. And this is where I really invite y'all in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your insights. Let me know your truth around this. Let me know if this resonates or if this seems like new levels of woo-woo, because I understand how it sounds, and I'm just relaying the information and the words and the verbiage of how it's come through so far. Okay, now let's look at the Capricorn Solstice chart. So Atlantis has not really moved on too much. What we see is that the Sun and Atlantis are still in that sextile relationship very much. Atlantis at 2719, Libra is in quincunx with Neptune at 2711 of Pisces. So this is greater spiritual awareness here, This is where a Reiki journey, a shamanic journey, a dream time, some time in water, some time in creative flow can be facilitating that adjustment into fluidly running this super high frequency, high voltage Atlantean energy through our bodies and understanding what is happening there. And that as we do that, we're really tapping into our soul growth, our collective soul growth, our collective awakening as Neptune inches closer and closer. And the north node of the moon is inching closer and closer to its conjunct alignment with Neptune and Pisces, which will be exact in 2025. So really, really beautiful here. Our spiritual practice is our support to integrate the higher frequencies of this Atlantean energy. And you see at this time as well, Hawaii at the final degree of Cancer zodiac sign, and Atlantis is approaching an exact square to one another. So there is this real reconciliation happening between our ability to run this Atlantean current with having a physical, less dense, more light, more fluid, spinal columns clear and ready to receive this energy in our physical body with Hawaiian Mars retrograde here in this beautiful conjunction. And both Hawaii retrograde and Mars retrograde here conjunct one another are in quincunx to the sun in Capricorn. Capricorn helping us ground it in. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. So really helping us embody it, ground it in, breathe it in, stabilize it, structure it, structure it within our bodies, feeling more secure in it. And I'm tuning in here even more to the grandmother frequency side of Capricorn, that it's like this ancient, divine feminine, grandmother, elder frequency that we can receive and support the nourishment of our physical bodies as we undertake to powerfully elevate into the promise of this evolving human template, which is a part of the evolving highest timeline of Earth. So really, really exciting, really, really powerful, really, really supportive. And this is also in sharing all of this, this is where I want to say self-care, self-care, self-care in all the ways you know how, in new ways you may be learning, and to take it slow and easy. I know I've had a lot of different moments of like, what is going on? These past months, like really being in the bliss, unity, oneness, consciousness, but also being like, how is my physical body doing? And like, how can I support my physical body in these different changes that are occurring, the aches, the pains, the, sensitivity to cold, all of the different sensations in my spine. I've been noticing all of these different things, different parts of my vertebra, like the Godhead area, the pineal gland, the third eye, so many different parts. Yesterday it was really like behind the high heart chakra, like more of the thoracic spine. So different parts of the spine, cervical spine, really being super, super activated. And then noticing all of these other changes as well, with notably the sensitivity to cold. And so what I'm also sensing, and water retention as well. And is that those of us who are feeling cold may actually be that we're feeling cold because we're running so hot inside, that it's almost like we're little starry furnaces inside ourselves. And so there can be this sense of opposites at play, feeling like really heavy too. I've noticed this as well, like my body feeling really heavy, really dense. And the messaging I'm getting, it's feeling really heavy and dense, but it's actually becoming more and more light, more and more fluid, more and more light body. So there's this really interesting interface with the physicality and with the duality. And I invite all of you to really just observe it, see how it's working for you, and to honor your own unique experience of it and support yourself fully through it in any and all ways you feel guided to do so. And I'm really hearing to just small, subtle changes can be very, very powerful rather than any kind of like radical, sweeping, or invasive. I'm hearing the importance to listen to my body's innate intelligence and allow that innate intelligence to activate and do the calibration rather than interfering with it, if that makes sense. Assist, facilitate, hold space, be proactive and preventive and get support when needed, but also take more of a non-interference approach at this time. So slow and steady can be very, very powerful, and also listening to your own unique guidance around it. So taking a look here at the Capricorn solstice charts, our sun at 0 degrees Capricorn is aligned with the galactic center. So this is where that black hole energy and even the days prior is just really, really strong coming through the sun and really, really strong coming through the south node of the moon. So this is very, very beautiful. Our galactic family is beautiful. It's very likely that additional energy transmissions will be coming through. So if you're saying yes to it, which I'm guessing you probably do want this, I know I do, to intend to let go of any resistance to it and really be very receptive to what's coming through. And the sun here at that first degree of Capricorn zodiac sign is squaring the nodal axis. So what we are receiving, what we are becoming aware of, this galactic transmission is very much in alignment with our soul growth, what needs to be released, and then what is our way forward to even greater spiritual empowerment, embodiment, the human potential being realized in that highest timeline for each of us as individuals and as a collective humanity. In medical astrology, Capricorn zodiac sign rules the skin, the knees, the bones in general with Saturn, ligaments and tendons with Mars and Saturn, gallbladder with Leo, cuticles and nails. So these are the areas of the body to be very mindful of, and to know that the galactic transmissions are happening at the deepest and most dense structural physical levels of our bodies at this time. So that's where take it slow, take it easy, rest, recharge, replenish, nourish yourself well, engage in those healthy habits. That's being reinforced here by Saturn, the planetary guide for Capricorn zodiac sign, is conjunct beautiful Atronar, river of life, very, very healing, high frequency star. And Saturn is opposite the moon. The moon is opposite Saturn, the moon in Virgo. And so Virgo, Pisces, both having to do with more of our physical healing, Virgo, practical healing, and our spiritual healing. Pisces, our creative life force energy, our spiritual mission. Pisces, our physical and practical mission. Virgo. So with the moon in Virgo at the time of Capricorn solstice, it's like definitely pay attention to your health. Honestly, I would say I would offer this. You can take it or leave it. This is not the holiday to go crazy with the bad habits. In my view, it never is. Like, I'm wanting to stay with my plan of like what works through holidays, but it's really looking like with the moon at the time of this Capricorn solstice, this is a time to maybe exercise a little bit of restraint and just do what your body is asking for. Eat clean water, get sunshine, get your exercise, get your sleep as much as possible, self-care, make good choices. This will be rewarded long term, Saturn. There will be payoffs here. And with the Capricorn solstice, this is setting us up for the next 3 months. So these galactic transmissions we are receiving here at the time of the Capricorn solstice will continue to be titrated through the next 3 months. Certainly, this Lemurian, this Atlantean, and this galactic, these different levels of energy transmission will be very much a part of our next 3 months. So know that, be open to that. It's not all, you got to receive it all in one day. It would be too much. However, that said, we could receive quite a lot this Capricorn solstice. So also be very open to that, and notably to Mercury's with Antares, the heart of the Scorpion, our heart energy, very, very strong. Jupiter is opposing the great attractor, so we have that ability to like suck it in and like become aware of it at more of a mental level with Jupiter and Gemini, very expansive level, South Node, those past lives, those soul memories, really, really coming in, the galactic frequencies, really, really coming in. The galactic center sun alignment, they're really, really coming in. So it's like multiple levels of this, and we're supported by Saturn conjunct Atronar and just releasing and letting go of anything that no longer serves our highest good into the starry river of life, into Eridanus constellation. So we are so supported on all the levels, and I am really looking forward to these two particular activations and even like the period between them and we close out the month really strong as well with the Jupiter square Saturn. And you can see it's activated in this chart here with Jupiter and Gemini. So Saturn opposite the moon, and they're both square Jupiter in Gemini. So we have a real activation of this spiritual expansion that I was talking about in the December Galactic Astrology forecast in a really focused way. Saturn that has longevity. Saturn that is integrating powerfully with our physical bodies. Moon in Virgo, that this is a long game spiritual expansion, and that we will receive ideas and insights about how to bring it more into form structurally in external reality. But at this time, it's really about embodying it and anchoring it really deeply physically right now, and supporting yourself in just receiving it for yourself. And then next year and beyond, sharing it in all the different ways you may be guided to share it. So really, really powerful. I pulled a Galactic Heritage card for the highest guidance for all who watch this video regarding what has been shared, and I couldn't have chosen consciously a more perfect card. This mental transformation card. Our future timelines of Syrian star beings are helping us transform our mental bodies so that we can really be in alignment with the unlimited possibilities for manifestation, for heaven on earth, for starseed awakening and activation, for more sustained and stabilized levels and beautiful expressions of unity consciousness, bliss consciousness, peace on earth, humanity working together, interspecies communication, channeling abilities, and really liberating from those stories, those mental and emotional habits and patterns and thought forms of the past, those shackles within our mental bodies that we are ready to be free from so that we can powerfully come forward with each of our inner truths first to ourselves and then sharing that in the ways that feel most aligned with ourselves and really just letting go of any kind of limitations, any blocks to your own authentic inner truth, inner messaging, why you're here, and any blocks or limitations to you really feeling empowered as a co-creator of your life, as a co-creator with these galactic energies, as a co-creator with the cosmos and the stars and the planets and the earth and your fellow human beings and your fellow animal kingdom and plant kingdom and fungi kingdom and ascended masters and spirit guides and all the different beings that you're in relationship with, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you are a being of love, you're a being of light, and it's time to step into the light. It's time to step into the love. It's time to really know and embody the fullness and the wholeness of your soul, of your spirit, and to rise into the the service and the contribution that you know you're here to be and embody and share in your authentic and sacred way that only you can do and embody and be. So, if you want to connect with me more, Taylor Norris Reiki is the place to do that. December 7th, I have a class on the moon astrology basics with Reiki. December 30th is the free Capricorn distant Reiki share. Everybody's invited to that. January 11th, save the date. I will be putting on my calendar the various astrology and Reiki classes I'm teaching in the first half of next year. The first one will be on January 11th on the lunar nodes shifting into Pisces and Virgo from January 2025 through August 2026. So this is a big year and a half long transit that has to do with our soul growth as a collective. And then more energy forthcoming on an opportunity to come to Hawaii and be part of a Hawaii health retreat on February 2nd and 8th and receive Reiki from me if you choose to come. So that is all available on my website. More information about the January 11th class and the Hawaii health retreat forthcoming. So definitely join my email list if you want to hear about that. And I've opened up some bookings for 2025. So if you want a one-on-one session or reading, definitely check out my calendar and take a look and book if you feel so guided to do so. TaylorNorrisReiki.com. So much love, so many blessings to you. Happy and blessed Gemini full moon. Happy and blessed Capricorn solstice. Happy and blessed galactic, Lemurian, and Atlantean transmissions. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.